Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany and today we are going to talk about this new journal. So this is called the Onion Skin Journal. I found this company online through Instagram. I ended up ordering the journal through Etsy though. So they have an Instagram shop and they also have an Etsy shop. They have a bunch of different color options. They also have a selection of the notebook, which comes in one size, which is an A5, and then you can get like individual smaller sheets of the onion skin, and but those are all sold out. So currently they have it only in the A5 size, which I do use. I do use an A5 Hobonichi cousin, and so this is a size I am familiar with. It comes in this really nice protective sleeve, and it also arrived in 2 days after it shipped. It took a couple days to ship and then it arrived in 2 days. It is made in the United States. It is made out of what they call onion skin paper, which is very thin paper. So let's get right into it. At the time of ordering, I could only get one color, which happens to be blue. And I'm not mad about that because blue is one of my favorite colors. Oh, that's really pretty. So they have their little logo stamped with silver coloring on it. The spine says the Onion Skin Journal, and at the bottom it says Volume 1. So you can't really see that because I'm not in focus this closely. I really like this sticker, so I'm going to be taking that and using it somewhere in my journal. I do intend to use this as a journal, and I want to start using it for like scrapbooking type of journaling. To get started, let's see. This cover is very sturdy. It's not anything that you can kind of bend. It's more like a hardcover book or novel. As you open it, they have information card, and they say it's timeless quality, made in America, Smith-sewn linen cover, hand-folded pages, onion skin paper, an elusive paper prized by calligraphers, writers, poets. Onion skin paper has a mystique surrounding it for this last century. Very difficult to find. Its unique properties are coveted by paper enthusiasts around the world, and for its slightly translucent, lightweight, thin quality that is deliciously durable. So this is actually really nice. It's almost like can act as a bookmark. And as we get into the book, wow, this reminds me of paper of like wax paper. They include a lined or dotted sheet to go underneath. So here's the lined side and then the dotted side, if you could see that. And this is meant to go under the paper so that you can write in straight lines, maybe draw some like a graph or something, or just use it to help guide you on your paper. It's also kind of nice because although the book has a lot of pages, which I will have to look up how many pages there are, there's 224 blank pages. They also include a matching ribbon to the outside color of their logo, which does change depending on the color of book that you get. And so even though there's quite a lot of paper in this notebook, what I am noticing is that if I were to write on here, it's quite soft. So to have a paper like this, which is actually quite thick, it's pretty thick, kind of helps give you a nice firmness to the paper as you're writing, especially if you're writing with fountain pens. If you want your writing to be more even, I find that having something a little bit harder underneath the paper will help. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be using that. And yeah, I'm actually quite excited. This is really nice. One of my first journals that kind of got me really going with the journaling and planning community was a Rhodia notebook. So this kind of reminds me of me going back to that time when I was journaling it in a hard, solid notebook. But yeah, so I want to do some pen tests. So the pens I plan to use are mainly fountain pens. I don't know if I will actually be using any gel pens. Because this paper is so thin and see-through or translucent, I ideally would be using mainly my fountain pens in this notebook. Then I also want to do a journal with me kind of spread. So off to the side, I have my classic-y storage box that houses all of, well, not all, but many of the things I plan to journal with here. So that's gonna sit off to the side. I really love putting all my clips around the edges of this box, and then at the top I will have a clip here, and I will put just a washi roll there. So I found ways to really add as much accessories in here as I can. So I will be using these to journal with, and then I have some boxes of more ephemera pieces along with my various pen pouches. And these. So, got a lot going on. I'm gonna have some fun testing out this paper to see what it's all about and gluing some little pieces of paper onto this thin paper. Okay, so I have been looking at my stashes and I have picked out a few items from all my little storage places, and it's spring, so I felt like it would be good to use something green and kind of a hint of yellow. I'm using some of my own stickers that I've created out of my Patreon rewards, some of my artwork, and then some other artwork. So I don't know if I'm gonna actually use everything that is here, but definitely this is kind of my color palette. And I also wanted to include one of these labels, which is something I'm gonna have to cut. And then I want to use the paper, the wrapping, this brown paper. So just going to tear it off. And I do typically like it when there is some equilibrium on my page. So I'm going to do a traditional type of separating, but making it look equal on both sides. And honestly, I don't typically prefer to put everything down before I glue down. I just want to start gluing down and then kind of going off the cuff and figuring out what I think should be the next step. So for sticking these on, let's see if it will work with my glue, which is this one. So let's see how well this will adhere to the paper. So there is a little bit of crinkling, which means I may have to glue something else on this side of the page at a later time. So I want to overlap, and I do have a lot of pieces that are vellum and are see-through, so I will be able to do that. I'm gonna put this down here. Then I want to use this huge stamp to go over, and I'm going to try it with Versa Magic stamp pad. Let's see how it works. A little faded. That's okay. That just means I don't have to feel bad about covering it up partially. So I'm going to use this one, which is one of my printables in my shop. And I printed it on smooth, like glossy paper. And because today is the 9th, I want to put this on here somehow. This time I'm going to use the adhesive tape. This is another sticker from Patreon, and kind of want to overlap this with this one, but then I also want to use this, which was a sampler. Okay, so I finally finished the spread and I'm a little unsure how to explain the paper. It dries very quickly, and although at the beginning here I said how the fountain pen ink isn't affected by the oils on my hand that would be on the paper, it's hard to see the oils on the paper, but I could see the difference from the effect it has on my fountain pens, which is very similar to Tomoe River paper. So you could see at the top here, this pen, it's more clear than it is at the bottom. It looks like you're looking through a piece of glass that it has water droplets on it or something. I've noticed that it does really well with brush pen. It dries really quickly with brush pen. And then you still get this look like if my pen is thicker, there is a little bit of feathering in the ink, slightly. Something I've noticed. This is the back of the page. So it's definitely see-through, but I have a feeling when you start writing on the page, you won't even notice what's on the back side. But it's really like crinkly. I love that sound. Here's the other side. I love that sound. There is no bleed through at all with my fountain pen inks or the brush pen. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, please consider subscribing. I have started doing some journaling videos on Patreon, and so if you're interested to see more of my artwork and videos there, check out my Patreon. So I've had to jump over to VoiceOver Brittany, but I want to again thank my Patreons for all of their support. Consider supporting me over there if you want more videos. I will catch you guys all in the next video. Bye!